There we go. Hi everybody, DIDDLOTIC here. It is very early in the morning. I got my coffee. And I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's been going on with me and the channel. So first off, I know I was supposed to be putting out content by now, but a couple things got in the way. Big thing being, the fucking world ending, for one. This whole COVID-19 thing, everybody losing their mind, all the shops closed, has prevented me from actually getting a computer that I can edit anything on, or learn the program, learn the ropes, sort of practice and really put that grind in. I have no way to do that now. So that's on hold. Until stores at least start to let up, they open at all, and I can go to a store, get a computer. I know I could probably get one online, but this is the sort of purchase where I want to put in the research and I want to pick which one. I want to take it home that day. This isn't the kind of thing I want delivered sitting on my porch waiting for me to get it. I want to bring it home, unbox it, do what I got to do, look into whatever I need to look into to actually get the right setup going. So that's kind of put a hold on any real content making aside from recording on my phone with no editing in one take, no separate audio, no real quality to it, just kind of throwing things out there, which I don't want my channel to really be. I want it to be professional. I've wanted a channel where I make content on various things for, God, years and years. I mean, I made this account in 2008 when I was a kid, and I always wanted to do something with it. Over the years, it's changed. But I finally am in the place where I think I can commit to producing content. And then as soon as that happened, COVID-19 and all that nonsense that comes with it. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a channel update and a life update as well. As some of you know, I made my first big purchase, which is what pushed back getting a computer for videos, in getting my own car. Now, I've been driving for years, but it's always been some spare sidecar that my father let me drive. I never really had my own big purchase, my own insurance. I never really got to butt off and do my own thing. I've had 3 cars so far, and they all haven't been me. They all haven't. I feel like a car is an extension of somebody's personality. So I drove a blue 2006 Passat was my first car. That broke after a while, pulling into a parking lot. The shock pretty much snapped, and it was sitting in my driveway. That was like August of 2015. I had a black Nissan Versa, which was a pretty little car. It was good. But on the highway one day, I had it for a couple of years. Suddenly going, let's see, honestly, about 80. Let's keep this. The entire dash just lit up, no good reason, and died. Not after a bunch of crashing noises from the engine. It turned out to be something called rod knock, which essentially means fuck your engine, throw it in the garbage. And then my third car, which I was driving up until very recently, which I'll get into, was a little 2007 silver Hyundai with a ding and dent and scrape in every corner that we bought from my cousin for like $1,000 in very bad shape. But it ran. It ran very well. It just didn't look very well. So I decided, after we got rid of all those cars, except the Hyundai we still have, but that's another story, it's about time, now that I finally have my life somewhat going. Oh great, hope you don't hear those sirens. Or if you do, whatever, it's just a raw video. Move along, fuckers. That it was time to get my own car, butt off on my own. I finally found a good full-time career that I'm doing well in. It's a great company. And I'm finally able to start at 23, butting off. So after searching around, I found one of my old customers when I worked for an auto place down the street I worked for the commercial department for local garages, making deliveries for various parts and bits and bobs and things. And there was a guy who always liked me. And I decided, when I walked by one day, I saw right in front of the front doors a beautiful little white Cadillac. Now, I'm very picky with my cars. I'm not the kind of guy to drive around in some dime a dozen Toyota Camry. I'm very picky, I'm very weird. I was only looking at cars before 1989. I was looking at like the old 70s giant barge, just hunks of metal. That's always been my thing. It has to be, the car has to be loud. It has to have some sort of personality. It can't be like all these modern cars that are essentially like equivalents of disposable cameras. You can barely work on them on your own. I never liked that. So I walked by and saw this car. It's a 2003 CTS. And I decided, because I was hunting around with my father, he was helping me look, that we would go in there and talk about it one day. And we did. When we went out there to take it for a test drive, it was raining. So when I got in there, the inside of the car was wet. The A-pillars, which are the bits that run along between the front doors and the windshield, you know, those little, they go, you know them if you've ever seen a car in your life, I don't know why I'm trying to explain it, were wet, and so was the floor. Now, the guy was out there with me, he was like, we'll take care of that. Believe me, that's actually a very accurate impression of him. I'm not just being an asshole. And I go to turn the key. Nothing. It doesn't fucking do anything. And I just look at him like, oh, yeah? And he goes, hang on. He runs and gets a jump box. He's like, it's been sitting there for a little while. We got it from a collection. It starts up. I drive around with my father. And it's very sporty. It's actually pretty good. Other than the fact that it had been sitting there for a while and it needed to be jumped, it actually wasn't bad of a car. It was just the leak that concerned me. So we got back from the test drive. The guy said, we can take care of that easy. It's just blasting out their drain plugs in the sunroof for rain drainage and water, because water does get in there. It's not absolutely watertight. So we just have to blast those out. It'll clean out the vents. Everything will be fine. So okay. And after a day, I decide to buy the Cadillac. I am over the fucking moon over buying my first car, and it's a beautiful pearl white Cadillac. I mean, what a fucking upgrade to me. So, give it a couple days. I go out to start it. Click, 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 nothing. Click, 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 nothing. Actually, not even that fast. Just a rhythmic. Nothing. Wouldn't work. And I see that because it rained the night before, the A-pillars and the floor are wet. Like nothing was done to fix the problem. So of course, I'm calling him up. I'm going off. Respectfully. I'm not yelling at him. I'm not swearing at him, which is very against me, if you know me. But I kept my cool. So ended up jumping it, taking it there to be fixed. He says, all right, so the drain tubes were disconnected. When we blew out the air vents, there's a little rubber tube that connects the hole and the other hole. There's a little black tube thing. That was disconnected in the A-pillars. We dried it out, we attached them both. Should be fine. And it was. It rained again, and that was fine. But he told me, I load tested the battery. The battery is fine. It's cranking like average. Everything about the battery is totally normal. So I go, okay, but it won't start. And he goes, I jumped it, and it started right up. So now I'm going, that means there's a bigger problem. It must be. An electrical system, ignition, something. Or maybe when the car got wet, it fucked with a wire. But according to him, no, it doesn't make sense. He gave it to me to take back home. And for the next day and a half, it started up fine. Now, a few days ago, I'm going to work. Early in the morning. It's still dark out. That's when I gotta go to work. And I go to start it. Click, 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 nothing. Click, 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 nothing. And I sit there and I go, fuck! Fuck, it happened again. So I told my father, he's like, I don't know, you gotta we still have the shitbox Hyundai sitting around. You gotta take that to work. You gotta get to work. And I'm like, oh God, okay. I'm gonna have to call this guy at 9 or 10 or whenever he opens. I do. And he gets mad at me. He goes, you must be leaving something on. There's no way that would happen. And I'm like, I have been driving for years. I've never left any lights on. I've never left any dome light, nothing. Nothing at all. No doors ajar. I've done nothing. And he goes, okay, can you bring it by? And I'm like, no, I need this tomorrow. My father's working from home. Send one of your guys who I know them all, there. He'll be waiting. Click. Okay, not that abrupt. He said okay. He agreed to do it. He said, okay, give me a couple hours. Nobody ever called or came by. Now at this point, I'm going off to my father going, holy shit, what a mistake it was buying from this guy that I had a working relationship with. We were on good terms. He liked me. I'd come in wearing my uniform, but I had it all tailored and tucked in sunglasses. He called me Hollywood, for fuck's sake. Like, he had a playful nickname for me. He liked me, and he was doing fuck all nothing to help me with my first car purchase, in which he said, I'll take care of you, don't worry. You're the best driver they had, I always liked you, blah, blah, blah. Used car salesman speak, essentially. So yesterday, I call him up, and I go, hey, thanks for sending someone over, real help, blah, blah, blah. And I tell him that it's not starting again. He just sighs. And I go, you need someone to come by. And long story short, me and my father ended up going there. And we kept our cool there. We chatted with him. And it turns out through research, the battery might not have been powerful enough, but we didn't know. So we drove back with somebody, brought the jump box, tried to start it so they could drive it back there. The jump box wouldn't start it. We attached it to the Hyundai to jump start it. It couldn't be jump started by another car. So we drove him back, and then Frank was the guy's name. We drove him back, and the guy gets mad that he sent his guy over there and he couldn't bring it back. So he sends another guy with a bigger jump box they use for the big diesel trucks, like tractor trailer, tow truck, flatbeds, those big ass engines. We do that, starts right up. Have them bring it back. I'm waiting for a call. Suddenly, I'm sitting at this very table with the window over there open, and I see my car drive up very soon after. And it turns out that after all this time, after everything that went wrong, the battery was good. The battery was fine. It just wasn't meant for my car. It turns out that Cadillac needs some kind of super powerful battery to power everything. And the battery I had was fine for any other car. I think it ran at 12 volts or however, I don't know how batteries work, but I think it was running at 12 when he load tested it, which is perfectly fine for any normal car. But Cadillacs need at least 14 to start, and even then it's kind of janky when it runs. So he put in a Duralast Gold battery, which of course tugs at my heartstrings because I used to work at AutoZone. That's how I had the working relationship with him. And the car's been working fine. So to make a very long, rambling story short, that car problem has put anything to do with content regardless of waiting for a shop to open, a Walmart or a Best Buy or whatever I can get to first, depending on when it's open. That's put a big hold on that. But I believe that might be solved. So that falls more into the life update category. And yeah, I mean, I still have a lot of plans. A lot of things I want to do. I want to do some Let's Plays on old favorite games, because I honestly haven't been crazy into newer games. I want to make more essays on things, because I've always been weirdly artsy, and I look in depth with certain aspects of things, so it'd be cool to put that on video and edit it whenever I can, but I've already talked about that. Music reviews, album reviews, song reviews, the DIDDLOTIC discography tour, where I go through an entire artist's works from their first ever song on their first ever album to the either last song on their last album or at least most recent one they've put out, all the way through in order, no skips, and I give an account on what I think of that artist, what I think of the album. I could break it down to any sort of thing, I guess depending on how much the artist has put out. But I still have a lot of plans. I just need you all to wait this COVID thing out with me. Stick with me. And you're going to see some pretty good-ass content. I promise you. You're going to love it. If you don't love it, stick around anyway, because you eventually will. Alright. Well, that's it from me. It's very early. I'm going to go shower and get ready for my day of nothing, because the world's shut down. So, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you later.